Ash from Aranda Lash. We're not going to talk to you about squiggles. We're going to talk to you about something that is equally history making. Shall I give you perfect? So yes, there are a lot of names on this slide. And I'm going to start by introducing Trame. So I'm the founder of Trame. We are about on-chain, off-screen art and design. So physical pieces with digital provenance. Would you like to introduce yourselves?
Sure. We're Aranda Lash. I'm Chris Lash, Benjamin Aranda, and we are a design firm in New York City and Tucson, Arizona, working across a lot of design sectors, but with the common approach that we use generative techniques in the conception and design of our pieces.
Fantastic, Ben.
That's good.
Perfect. And then you can see Maison Drucker. So Maison Drucker was born 139 years ago. And you must be wondering what's Maison Drucker doing here, what are we all working on? So basically, what we're trying to do here is show you what's going to be the interior of the future. The interior of the future is going to be both with physical pieces that have digital provenance, traditional pieces, and we developed for the occasion of NFT Paris a generative interior concept. And in order to explain the generative interior concept, we're going to talk about the Maison Drucker, the Parisian French bistro chair, a generative French bistro chair that was developed by Aranda Lash and Maison Drucker that was presented at Bright Moments. And you can also see it in our booth, Trame and Arblock's booth. So this is the photos from the trip where Ben and Chris went to visit Maison Drucker. I can't see actually this because the screen is off, but yeah, all right. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna ask a few questions to Chris and Ben and ask them, how do you turn a chair that is iconic for Paris into something that is on-chain, off-screen?
Yeah, so we developed an algorithm that would capture all of the weaving constraints of Maison Drucker. And there's a long history of computation in weaving. I think everybody knows that the first computer, the first mechanical computer, was a loom that you could program the warp and the weft with threads. So there's already a kind of connection with weaving and technology. The first pixel was arguably the weave. So we were interested in basically encapsulating the process of weaving into a generative output. So we developed a software that would work with all the constraints of Maison Drucker. And that's what we're presenting here in Paris. It's being minted at Bright Moments and being shown here with Trame at NFT with the whole process and the objects laid out.
Yes, so basically at Trame, every collection starts with the physical piece. And we do a trip with the artists to the workshop. In that workshop, the artists are informed by the physical constraints of that craftsmanship. And those physical constraints inform the algorithm that is then going to be minted, and the output is weaved. So it's physical to digital to physical. And this is actually quite cool because we believe at Trame that the future of creation is that artists, designers, and brands will express their creative vision both physically and digitally day one. I'm showing you here a few pictures of the workshop. This is a traditional chair, and you will see here. So this is a prototype, and this was minted. So this is an output of the algorithm that you can see in in this picture. Chris, would you like to say a few words about your trip to Maison Drucker?
Sure. Yeah, the trip out to the suburbs of Paris to visit the production facility of Maison Drucker was very interesting. We knew what the chairs were. We knew what the process was, but it was there's nothing like seeing it in person and seeing how much it is still very much a kind of handcrafted handcraft practice, where each chair goes through separate processes, lovingly shaped, assembled, and woven by expert artisans. And this project was really about creating a real co-creation process with Maison Drucker and the people that make these chairs. So as Ben said, over time we worked with them to encode the constraints of the hand weaving process into the digital algorithm, so that the algorithm is a work of art on its own, but also instructions for making a chair. And for our part, the digital creation process is a kind of entry point into this age-old process and a way of kind of opening it up to new possibilities, to an expanded set of designs and of design possibilities through these new tools that still participate in this co-creative process, so that along the way, the hands of the makers, the hands of the weavers participate in this digital process and finish it, so that it's really a kind of a hybrid, a revitalization of this heritage process, but with all of the qualities and personalities maintained in it.
Thank you. And I understand also you worked on other products where has a digital provenance and physical pieces like objects. How do you see the future of design products? Can you share with us?
Yeah, we've been working with all manners of cultural production in making that involve generative techniques. Taking a step back, it's probably worth asking why connect traditional craft to algorithmic logics. And we both teach, and we teach at universities, and the youth today is not convinced that algorithms necessarily are a great thing. Algorithms have produced a lot of inequity. Big tech has produced a lot of imbalance. While there are a lot of technological advances, we have deep divisions. We have all kinds of, you could say, responsibilities that algorithms have left behind. And I think youth has a right to claim that the algorithmic control of society right now is problematic. And it's up to us, I think, in design to present a position on this problem. And for us, we're interested in using algorithms to present, protect, preserve heritage craft, old ways of making, to keep these kind of jobs in place, to present not a conflict between algorithms or generative logics and old craft, but rather a sympathy, a kind of possibility. And I think this is like a really important kind of position, because if we don't, let's say, meet this moment in history with a way forward, I think that we won't win over larger audiences, and the work itself won't necessarily make a difference. So what we do as a practice is try and meet this predicament by learning from the past. And so we look to history to show us moments of algorithmic thought, tendency, making, and we look to tradition. And it turns out things like weaving are inherently generative. They're inherently algorithmic. It's a process, things like basket making. We've looked at architecture. There's certain kinds of traditional buildings. We look to craft, essentially, to show us a way forward, not just for innovative algorithmic work, but for new kinds of connections with heritage and craft.
So if someone today wants to experience the minting of this chair at Bright Moments, how was the process?
Well, you would go to, right now, here in Paris, you would go to Bright Moments. And
6 Rue Bailly.
that's right. And you would mint a digital NFT, and you do it in person. And this invocation of the algorithm, this NFT, will give you something unique. And it'll give you a unique pattern that only you can use to make chairs with Maison El Drucker. So Maison El Drucker will take your pattern, and they will make chairs or canvases or whatever you want of their catalog. And so really what you're getting from this NFT is your own unique, personalized catalog with this historic house of craft.
Fantastic. I love it. Question. So, Chris, would you like to add something?
Sure.
Yeah?
At the heart of this project and at the heart of of a lot of what we do is to working in this way yields a kind of insight into the history of material culture. That the moment that we're in now, this new way of making in this algorithmic age, is not actually so different. It is innovative, and it is a unique and exciting moment in history, but it's not things like we're learning that things like the differences between traditional and contemporary, between art and craft, looking at the way that things are made, looking at it from an algorithmic perspective, from a warp and weft, from an over and under. One of the oldest crafts, weaving, is actually not so different from what we're seeing today at NFT Paris, at Bright Moments, in this kind of algorithmic intelligence, this algorithmic way of making things and seeing the world. And so it's much more helpful to see the history of material culture as a kind of continuity rather than as a series of ruptures or artificial categories.
Exactly. I think also at Trame, this is what we believe, is that technology and craftsmanship, we just continue this conversation. I personally come from Morocco, and I have part of my family in poetry and ceramics. So I always give this example where when you, ceramics started by molding simply ceramics, and then you had a major technological innovation breakthrough, which was the wheel. And then we started hand-throwing ceramic with a manual wheel. So with your foot, you can turn the wheel, and then you make your ceramics. And then you had another innovation, so electricity, and you have with the pedal, you can press the pedal, and then you can make your ceramic. And 2 years ago, we 3D printed clay and hand glazed it. So our challenge today is that, as Ben said, the culture tomorrow will need we are inventing it today, and we want to put craftsmanship at the heart of it and explain to everyone that technology and craftsmanship is a conversation that has been ongoing, and we're just continuing this. If you come to the booth, you will see the deconstruction of the chair. You will see the generative handcrafted mirror that we did in Venice. We see the generative stained glass sculpture that we did with Jeff Davis, and also the tapestry. So we're very excited about how algorithms are going to impact our daily lives, and how in the future, I use the word generative craft. So you see that in every interior, we will have unique pieces from the same collections, and that's something that we're very excited about. Before we open up to the floor for questions, would you like to add something? Is there something that I missed? Yeah?
No, I think that's a good place to open it up. But I just want to say thank you, and we're so grateful and excited to be working with Trame and sharing this vision of the future of generative craft.
Thank you very much. Any questions, guys? Craftsmanship, anyone? All right. Thank you very much for your time, and have a wonderful NFT Paris week.